everyone, welcome to a special episode. We're all over the place. If you listen to Into the Night or Sons of the Dragon Sons of the Dragon, you're probably like, who the hell is this? Is I, Phil from the Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. We figured we'd do a little team up with since Lilith and I do the Ultimate Spider Cast and the the Daredevil podcast. So with us all the way from Australia, we have our friends Connor, of course, who does the Iron Fist podcast. Hello, Connor.
Hello. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, not a problem. Oh, and Lilith, we have our old buddy Ray, host of many podcasts, including Into the Night.
Into the Night.
Moon Knight
podcast.
Gotta put that oomph into that Moon Knight podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just shout out Connor and say you're doing the Lord's work? You're making Iron Fist accessible.
Oh, thank you.
You care about him. Bless your soul.
I'm glad to hear that I'm making him accessible.
Because sometimes he can be quite insufferable.
Well, I was gonna say I don't want to like talk bad about the Netflix series, but I think the one weakness of the Netflix series is I don't think it gave like audiences like the full taste of, or the what Danny Rand
exactly
is.
Yeah. Well, the latest series right now by Larry Hama is really good. I don't know if you guys are reading it.
Yeah.
First two issues out of the gates.
Well, it's Larry Hama. So.
Well, I mean, to be fair as well, that's kind of, it could be touch and go really, because like some of the older writers, sometimes I find, and I'm just going to say some of Chris Claremont's later stuff, like today's stuff, isn't as good as his classic stuff. So you could potentially get flat stories from older writers, but Larry Hama's doing an excellent job, I think, on Iron Fist.
He is, and I mean, since Immortal, every single solo Iron Fist title has been like really good. He's actually had a pretty good run. It's like every few years he'll get a series, so I guess he doesn't suffer from the sort of ongoing problem that a lot of other characters do. Yeah.
Well, and Larry Hama, I mean, he's been writing like martial arts stuff for decades. I mean, have any of you read like that old when Marvel did the G.I. Joe comics? Like he wrote like that classic Snake Eyes Silent stuff.
He did that Silent. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know him from Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snicked.
Yeah. But I think also the Netflix series as well may have gotten a little bit more poo-poo than it should have. If you compare it to the others, sure, maybe, but I found it a pretty solid series. Connor, you've of course highlighted your quibbles here and there, and you generally like it as well. I mean,
actually, I really like the first season. The first season is kind of like the first, 3 issues of the comic sort of stretched out into like 13 episodes. Except, I don't know, like, it doesn't really show that much. But I don't know, I just liked it. I didn't really like the second season though. I thought it was...
I loved his when he did his little team up with Luke Cage. I feel like that should have actually been the show. Like they actually worked pretty well. I love Mike Coulter, so any excuse to give him in more episodes of anything.
I think,
but I thought their chemistry was great.
Yeah, it really was. And outside of like the tournament episode in season 1, which is just some really classic like martial arts stuff, I think like that Power Man and Iron Fist episode was the best episode to have Iron Fist in it. Like Defenders was awful, but that I hope we get a Power Man and Iron Fist show if we get nothing else, So
I mean, they have all the rights back now. Marvel.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to see all of them back. Yeah, and do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might happen, might not.
Pick those 4, maybe throw in a Moon Knight or something.
I'm just saying. Well,
Spider-Man.
Oh,
Deadpool.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Well, I was talking on another podcast how I'd really love if they brought the Netflix characters back, but made it separate from the MCU and brought in their own Spider-Man, so we could have like the street level Spider-Man teaming up with Daredevil and all that stuff. Because I always preferred, Daredevil and Spider-Man or Punisher and Spider-Man to like the Avengers and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think there's just better dynamics there, and I'd love to see that.
Yeah, for me, he's always a street character. Although he's not superpowered, he's really a street character.
Yeah, I mean, I want a Spider-Man who, doesn't get all his tech from Tony Stark and how smart he is and builds his stuff for himself.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's why I like him a little older. I think it'd make more sense with a Daredevil or somebody when he's a little older.
Yeah. Although there was that really funny team up in Ultimate Spider-Man with Daredevil and the Punisher, and he's just kind of like this helpless kid stuck between these two lunatics, like going at each other, which I thought was pretty great.
Bendis.
Oh yeah, that was Bendis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really funny run. Like, it was a good run. Speaking of writers who aren't as good as they used to be.
And it wasn't me! I didn't say it this time!
I mean...
Beautifully segued.
Well, I mean, that's been my theory for a long time now. It's just, I think he does good with the street level stuff, like your Ultimate Spider-Man, Daredevil Warren was great, Jessica Jones, but once you start up in the power level, like the Avengers, the X-Men, Superman, it kind of gets starting to get shaky there.
Just for the record, like, I think a lot of his Superman run was okay. Some of it was pretty bad, but I don't think it quite deserves the hate it gets. I've definitely read worse.
But I mean...
It's
2 words! Rogozar. Enough said.
Just drop that plot thread, shove it over to Supergirl, and leave us all confused.
We just chucked him into the time stream. Yeah, what?
What happened to him at the end?
Nobody knows. Some say he's still bleeding out on that street.
I hope he comes back because he's just such an absurd villain. Like, I mean, I don't like him, but I mean, I love making fun of him. So
when Doomsday,
was he just not able to use Lobo? Like, what happened? I feel like we've seen that character, but better. I'm just saying.
He's like a Frankenstein's monster of a few different '90s sort of characters.
Well, at the beginning of Bendis' run, they kind of were like, "Oh yeah, the Kryptonians weren't as good of people as you thought," and then they never did.
Well, we never did think they were. I mean, were you reading the same book? Jarrell's an absolute terror, absolute nightmare.
The last time the Kryptonians were, like, I guess really good was back in pre-crisis, or I guess John's Secret Origin, with his weird obsession. Then he did New Krypton, and there were a bunch of lunatics. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, start with John Byrne, they were like all cold and emotionless.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here to talk about. What are we here to talk about? Sorry for derailing the conversation. I just wanted to give him kind of a little shout out, telling him he's doing the Lord's work, making Iron Fist great again.
Lilith steering us back.
We got pulled into the Bendis vortex. No, we're here to talk about Marvel Team Up Annual number 4. From...
I smell Frank Miller.
Oh, yes, Frank Miller writer, yes. August 1981. I know it's at least older than Lilith.
It is indeed.
I don't know how old Connor is, but I know, well...
Ancient.
Connor is the ancient one.
Yeah. Really? He's older than... I thought Ray was the ancient one.
No. Only, not in that sense, Phil.
Oh, okay.
And don't have to hammer home how old I am, but yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I am.
2 whole months, Ray. You're older than me. Don't forget it. All right, so August 81. Had anyone read this before?
Yeah,
I have. I've read almost all Frank Miller stuff, so I had read this.
I actually didn't know this existed. I thought the only Daredevil and Iron Fist stuff from this era was that Daredevil 178. So this was a surprise.
I really didn't know about this either because I wanted to do a team up and I just punched in Spider-Man, Daredevil, Moon Knight, Iron Fist. I'm like, nothing's going to come up with all of them. And like,
Come on, it's Marvel in the 80s. Of course it would have. Of course it would have.
Let's not spoil anything now, though, as well. But I'd love to hear kind of your take on the use of Iron Fist in this issue. But we'll get to it, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Actually, there is Shadowland as well that has all these guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only other one, though.
We might have to do that.
That's 2010.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
because I was just reading some of it the other day. Just the Power Man tie-in.
But yeah,
Saw that on Goodreads. So.
we should do that someday. But oh yeah, so Ray, I'm sure you know this. Connor, yeah, me and Lil's call Spider-Man King of the Selfies because I mean, come on, he was the first guy taking pictures of himself way back in the '60s. So he's
very good point. Yeah.
On a good old Sony point and click. Gotta love that they still have ties with Spider-Man after all this time.
But yes. All right, I'll go through the synopsis. Just stop me if anyone hears anything. I figure I'll stop when we get new characters, but
Yeah.
But yes, it starts one evening. Spider-Man is hanging upside down from a cornice, taking pictures of an automobile accident.
He never does that.
Because that's big news. A car accident. As usual, his rent is late, and he needs to sell something to the Daily Bugle. The rammed car is a purple Rolls Royce.
Get it, purple? Because it is called Pawns of the Purple Man.
It took me a while. It took me until he showed up to sort of click.
Well, it's only one page in, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Purple Rolls, yeah, branding. And the other is driven by two unsavory characters who emerge and start to threaten the Rolls driver. Suddenly interested, because there's, money maybe in form, Spider-Man watches the Rolls driver, clad in purple, order the thug to unhand him and to beat each other into unconsciousness. As they start battling, Spider-Man swoops down to investigate and grabs the Rolls driver. Then he discovers, to his surprise, that the driver's skin as well as his clothes are purple. The Purple Man suggests that Spider-Man climb a lamppost, and he does so without hesitation. Then he tells him to recite some Shakespeare, but Spider-Man does not remember much Shakespeare. So the Purple Man allows him to sing some Elvis Costello.
Don't sing it here. We'll get a copyright. Calm down.
I was a bit disappointed in Peter here with his lack of Shakespeare. I guess he wasn't a theater kid though. He was
more science.
He was a science nerd. Two different sections.
Not artsy, yeah.
And one thing I was keeping an eye out for, because like the Daredevil resists the Purple Man through his sort of strength of will, and I was interested to see how many of the other heroes would be put up against that test, and Spider-Man does not have the chutzpah to resist
easily,
it, which I thought was interesting.
I was trying to remember if I missed something, but is there a visual component to the Purple Man's powers? Because otherwise, I'm like, wouldn't the Purple Man's powers work better on Daredevil because he could hear him better?
I read issue 6. No, not 6. Whenever he showed up,
The first one, yeah, way back.
Somewhat recently, and I seem to remember it was Daredevil's will that resisted, but I could be misremembering.
The only thing that controls Daredevil is his Catholic guilt, okay? That's it.
And women.
And the women.
Touche, sir.
Yeah.
He beat me to it. And the women.
Yeah.
It's quite the combination when you think about it.
Well, I mean, also,
Cheats.
Purple Man's powers is, like in the TV show, is a little bit inconsistent in a lot of ways as well. Like, later on, he's talking about how he amplifies it because he's on a speaker system and stuff. So, it's a bit, you just got to take it as it is, and
pretty much.
Yeah.
As with the pimp suit, you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
Purple Rolls Royce, pimp suit. The guy, obviously,
He's got
some things going on.
He's a test for people's culture. What do you call that little frilly thing? The shirt, the front of the shirt that he has.
He's a pirate. He's wearing a puffy pirate shirt.
I was thinking about the
fluffy,
Seinfeld straight away. Yeah.
The Seinfeld shirt.
It's just a really nice package.
Speaking of which, he interrupted a drug deal, so there's that.
Oh yeah. Yes, because so Spider-Man's singing Oliver's Army, and Scud and his partner pummeling each other. The Purple Man calmly walks to his car and finds several packages. Walks to their car and finds several packages of heroin scattered about,
just strewn on the street.
Well, it was a car accident. Got thrown.
There's millions on the street.
I'm surprised they didn't have filled it in, man. Oh, like a baby seat. Evidently, the criminals were making a narcotics delivery worth perhaps thousands of dollars. He muses. Another man might steal the stuff, he continues, but money means nothing to Kilgrave, the Purple Man.
That's why you drive a Rolls Royce. Okay, buddy, sure.
Well, again, would money mean anything to you? Because if you could just tell people to give you money, or just tell you walk in your store and be like, yeah, give me that whatever, and that would.
Yeah, you don't even need money. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. I just looked through Daredevil 4 again.
Yes.
And it describes Purple Man as having the power to sap men's wills, and Daredevil's will is too strong for him to sap. So,
See, in the world to live, I tell you, baby, it's a theme.
Lots of so we're saying Daredevil has the biggest will out of all the characters in this issue.
He is the man with no fear.
Yes,
not all of them
that's
get
what I was
tested. I mean, like, for me, Daredevil's never been, like, the best at anything, but he's always been one of the characters that, like, never gives up.
Yeah.
Has, like, unbreakable will.
That's his thing,
Yeah, like, he's a great fighter, but he's not, like, Marvel's best, Same with his other
He gets it from his dad, because, to be a boxer, you have to think about that. Just to get pummeled.
And stick. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he knows how to take a punch. Then after telling the battling thugs and Spider-Man to forget he was ever there, the Purple Man walks away. Sometime later, Hildy, a secretary, tells her boss, the Kingpin, about the lost heroin shipment. The police
Detroit won't like this at all. No, sir. Detroit won't like this at all.
the police confiscated it.
So this is obviously after Miller introduced Kingpin into Daredevil, but despite Miller writing, Kingpin is very much the Spider-Man villain characterization in this.
Yeah, well, even Daredevil, I feel as well in this. So he's really, I think he's got a good voice for Spidey. Frank Miller. So he does that well. So, but he's kind of kept it in that kind of, I don't know what you say, happy realm. Yeah, happy tone.
Yeah,
with Spider-Man. Yeah.
Well, it's not particularly gritty.
Pretty straightforward and basic, yeah.
And Marvel team up. It's basically Spider-Man's book, and
exactly.
Pick this up as like a Daredevil or
You don't want Kingpin breaking people's necks in like a comic that.
He's a legitimate businessman, Connor. He even tells Hildy so.
A spice importer.
That's true. He's very legitimate.
But he's like they're all his enemies. We could get with like Spider-Man and Daredevil, but I mean, did like Moon Knight or Power Man and Iron Fist have like a lot of run-ins with the Kingpin?
No, none. I could probably safely say for Moon Knight, none. I don't think he's ever really.
Probably not. At least not by 1981.
No, definitely not.
I mean, I could see Power Man and Iron Fist, maybe not directly, but like maybe like.
Even Kingpin knows to stay out of Harlem, homie. Even Kingpin.
I could see them interfere with like his drug operations and stuff. And
I mean, if Iron Fist definitely never directly met him at this point, and if Power Man did, it would have been in his solo series. I haven't read those 50 issues.
It's been a while since I read those. Yeah, I don't really remember Kingpin being in it.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking also as well. On that note about Moon Knight, I mean, we see also later on how he's still pretty much a fringe dweller here. Like they even half mistake him for the villain towards the end. So even some of the heroes don't know him, kind of thing. So I think that's just that's a point of difference for him.
I mean, he's all dressed in white. That's the white man coming for.
Is that who's this guy? Who's this what fella? Yeah. But he's got nothing against. What's this guy's name? Von Schnappel. What the hell is this?
Who is this guy?
Dr. Snapple. I mean, I don't know.
I have no idea.
This is probably his first and only appearance, probably.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some of the characters act like they've met him before. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is very bizarre, though.
I think it's very much a matter of don't come back on Monday, Mr. Snapple. Thanks for your services.
Yeah, he didn't do a very good job.
Nah.
And you just like see that beard. It's like, is that real? Is that in disguise?
I know, it looked like
it's in disguise. Come on.
Yeah, it looked like he was perpetually in disguise. Like
yes, Heinrich von Schnickel Schnapp. This is his
totally a legitimate real name. Totally not an alias.
That's exactly.
Yes, this is Heinrich Plot Device's only appearance.
Last name might as well have been MacGuffin.
But yeah, the police confiscated the drugs. Annoyed because the shipment was worth $6 million.
Told you, millions. I know my drug money.
That's one money. That's when the dollar actually meant something more.
Be worth billions in 2020 money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He decides to learn more about the owner of the purple Rolls Royce. Yes, it was not Prince. So he orders one.
He had the pirate shirt. It could have been.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
Good point. Yeah.
Too tall. Too tall.
So he orders one of his henchmen, a white-haired man named Heinrich, to bring him in. Meanwhile, the two thugs cannot explain to a mystified Lieutenant Nick Manolis at the local police station why they were beating each other up for 2 hours on Fifth Avenue.
What idiots. That's funny.
Wouldn't you be like, oh yeah, maybe they were sampling their own product or something?
Yeah, they could have been high on something. Yeah.
Daredevil enters through a window and says that it is the work of the Purple Man. Those dogs must have caught a whiff of some armadillos.
I love that panel where Daredevil says, "I've fought the Purple Man many times." Like he,
what? And it's done once, you mean?
No, because in the notes, I think.
Well, he calls him Kilgrave now, so it would have been a few times.
Yeah, no, they said like at this point, the last time he fought him was like issue 154 or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was a editor's note. Yep. Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess he played him a few times, maybe a handful of times, and then you don't see the Purple Man for a long time until the 90s at least. I remember him trying to mess with that Nate Gray X-Man little favorite.
He's not a villain.
He deserved it. It's the only person I'll say deserved it. I was rooting for him.
But I think Daredevil does have some of his sort of grittier presence here. Like he's gritting his teeth a lot, and he's some of that. Well, I mean, he never did that before, but he started doing it. Now he does it like all the time.
Yeah.
He's got like a shadowy presence sometimes. So
yeah. He does that whole kind of like the Batman thing of bouncing into the office and then disappearing.
Oh,
well, I mean, if there's a Batman in this issue, we all know who it is.
Oh, come on, man! Come on!
Oh, you gotta be like that, Connor.
I know it's Ray's major.
I was gonna say, don't you love it, Ray? You're getting it from 3 people tonight.
I know. Hey, jeez.
Batman. Sausage.
Can I also say as well, just like while we're lingering around these panels, I also love the logos that they put on for every time you get introduced to the characters.
Yeah.
So
yes.
It's a nice little touch with Daredevil now. We saw Amazing Spider-Man, but we'll see it with the others. Really good stuff.
In case you didn't know who Daredevil is, you unbathed heathens, here's your blurb.
Exactly. I know.
And Miller's on Daredevil at this point, right? So he's gonna like hype up.
Give me my shekel.
Yeah, he's definitely. They're always gonna hype him up too. Be like, hey, look how great this guy is. Look at his willpower. You should come read his book.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's also like the two villains in this are Spider-Man and Daredevil villains as well. So naturally, I think they should have the biggest roles.
True.
Well, it's like.
Also, I just want to say as well, Purple Man. I really do. I don't know what you guys think of the villain, but I really like the fact that he just casually says something and people just follow him. It's a pretty funky power. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, he's shown in the Jessica Jones TV show as well about how potentially dangerous it is, and we see this many times with him here. He even gets to a bit of a shady area later on. We'll see with the horse and carriage that scene. But yeah,
Jesus Christ, yeah,
it is. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Well, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. The three isn't enough. Okay, you're gonna get more crap, Ray. That is Chad.
Chad's in the house.
In the room, throwing down the Moonman remarks. Brutal.
All I'm saying is that who saves the day? That's all I'm saying. Let's just read on.
Wait. Who saves the day?
Batman.
Come on.
Look how big it is.
No, Batman.
Boy, that next Last Sons of Krypton is going to be brutal.
That would have been. That should have been a drop there, Phil, if it was nice and clean. But yeah.
Sounds like a bland, Jan. Sounds like a bland, Jan.
Uh,
Well, thank you, Chad.
I'm sure. There's people. There's at least 2 people watching. He's lurking. But yeah, so Daredevil comes to the police station. And says it is the work of the Purple Man, one of his old foes. Just then, Delaney, a police officer, interrupts to tell Manalist that the Purple Rolls is registered to a Zebediah Kilgrave. The address on the
Zebediah. I mean, when you name your kid Zebediah, what do you expect? That's like a Children of the Corn name. Come on.
Oh.
No offense. No offense to the Amish.
Yeah, your kid's performing some kind of crime. Come on.
Yeah, if you're not a holy man, you're a supervillain with that name. It's one or the other.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I thought they were Boston Pizza owners.
Well, I mean,
Well, obviously.
Of course, Zebediah.
exactly. It's one of them Boston. Yeah. The address on the registration is phony, he says. The Kilgrave has been traced to the most expensive suite at the Plaza Hotel.
Oh, it should have been Trump Tower. Come on.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, 80s New York. Gold toilets, man. Just saying.
Cockroaches still. by the time Manalist turns to reply to Daredevil, the crime fighter is gone. As he swings away on his Billy Club cable and grits his teeth, he muses.
Yes, he always does this to me, and I'm like, I totally get Jim Gordon and Batman vibes.
Yeah. No, exactly. Shaking the fist as well.
Lilith again, Batman. You're killing right here. But yeah, he muses the police do not stand a chance.
Frank Miller. Blame Frank Miller.
well, to be fair, a lot of Batmanisms that people associate with the character came from Frank Miller, and Miller wrote Daredevil before Batman.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Exactly.
Born Again, Batman 1, Return. Yeah.
And I think his Daredevil is better than his Batman anyway. Year One's pretty good though.
Well, he doesn't have money, so it makes him a little more relatable and not as crazy, like a rich billionaire dressing up as a bat at night. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I can see that.
I just think he's not a complete jerk to everyone like Miller's Batman is. So, you know. He's not a jerk to Jim Gordon, actually.
True.
That's because it's his boo, as we've well established over on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast. Sorry, Ray.
That's what he said. What the F? Oh wait, you got reinforcements coming here, Ray. Chad says, at least Mark can fix his villain problem.
Strike rate, 100%.
That's right. Hey, remember, you never want a face-to-face with Moon Knight. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly.
Alright, so... Where were we? Here. But yes, he's thinking about the police have no chance. He who is for some reason unaffected by the Purple Man's power can bring him in. His thoughts are interrupted when he passes over a dimly lit street and spies 2 muggers attempting to rob a victim. In seconds, he knocks the thieves out, and then he tells the man whom the muggers call Pop to report the incident to the police. It was only a common everyday mugging, he thinks, as he swings away, but he could not ignore it, and it cost him precious time.
That's kind of interesting. I was like, it was just 1 page, and it just shows like what Daredevil's all about. I guess I think it's a pretty good character introduction. Yeah, because obviously it doesn't fit in with the larger story, but
no, not at all. Just a little bit of a and there to note there, Connor. I guess if we're to liken it to Superman, no crime is too small. I guess so.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That was one of my previous quibbles. Connor and I have had long conversations about that, but understandable. Superman, he can't just be cosmic and all that. He does fight crime for the everyman as well.
I mean, it's understandable if you'd rather see him do cosmic stuff, because But
that's my problem with any of the comics or the movies when they want to make him like the alien loner. I'm like, he loves people, even if he doesn't have parents or something.
He loves people whose names have a double L in it. Let's just get that straight. Lana Lang, Lois Lane, that mermaid lady.
I've
all people.
alien loner Superman who humanity turns on at a whim. Really like that.
That's the most realistic approach, to be honest.
That's what like, Denny
Pretty much.
O'Neill did and Elliot Magan and stuff back in the 70s, which I'm really big on. So,
Yeah.
but he is a people person. Ultimately. Well, yeah.
Aunt May's putting her records on, boys.
Oh yeah, yes. Because meanwhile, Peter Parker and Aunt May are at Peter's Chelsea apartment when a television newscaster relates the story of the purple Rolls Royce colliding with the car loaded with heroin. Peter's spider sense starts to tingle, but for the life of him, he cannot understand why. When the bulletin mentions that Spider-Man was seen hanging from a lamppost, he racks his brain trying to remember the incident. Aunt May sees that the program is disturbing him, so she turns off the television and puts on one of his records, which just
Was it the Spider-Man Jam record? Or
that Christmas album, yeah, which just happens to be Elvis Costello's Oliver's Army. Just by
She's picked the right record. Good on you, Aunt May. Well done.
some vinyl.
And
And deep bring that back. Peter Parker's a vinyl collector.
The vinyl collection. But deep down, Peter Parker, he tweaks something in his mind.
I know. They always make the spider sense whatever they need it to be, but I'm just like,
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
fluid.
was he in immediate danger, or was it just like, oh hey, the purple man affected you and he didn't realize it? So hey, that's danger.
psychosomatic. Say it with me.
I was gonna say, like, speaking of inconsistent powers, and part of me, like, I can't help whenever he uses the spider sense, because I kind of grew up on those movies, like the Sam Raimi, where he goes into slow mo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's looking at the record player, and everything goes slow mo.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I always think like modern writers, if there was one thing they could change about Spider-Man, it would be that spider sense. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your camera, Jughead. Use it. Jeez.
But again, his spider sense tingles fiercely, and he realizes that something strange must have happened to him that evening. Aunt May spiked the punch. Thinking that he may have taken pictures of the incident, he runs, much to May's astonishment, out of the room with his camera and heads for the Daily Bugle, where he develops the film. Doesn't he usually use his bathroom in the dark room? Again.
Aunt May's there. Don't want her walking in on him.
And she gets startled and die. That's what Aunt May's all about.
She's got a strong ticker,
Yeah,
She's
it's insanely strong. She's been dying since the 60s.
He had several close near-death experiences in the comics, and now we just de-age her every couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, Lilith, you want to tell Connor your Aunt May theory?
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, actually, it's Uncle Ben is Mephisto, but they had a bit of a fight before he died, so that's why he's keeping her alive. He doesn't really want her down there with him, nagging him. It's the first time he's been free of Aunt May, so he's trying to keep it that way. That's my personal headcanon.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. Until one.
That whole one more day thing, I was like, she was already like 1,001. What are you doing, Peter? Let the old woman die.
She looks weathered. Every now and again.
The whole power and responsibility thing, and you always been dedicated his whole life to the devil.
I know, exactly.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate plot twist? I'm just saying.
We have really cool Ghost Rider crossover to wrap it all up.
Well, if you're reading current Spider-Man comics, yeah.
Red shoes.
I told you people from the beginning, it wasn't Mephisto in WandaVision. Shut up. But he heads to the Bugle, develops film. When he sees the shots of the Rolls Royce and the Purple Man, his memory returns. Then he changes into his Spider-Man costume and web swings out over the city, hoping that his spider sense will get. Now it's a locator. His spider sense will find the Purple Man for him. The next day, Heinrich von Schnickelschnape, the Kingpin's agent.
Schnapple. Von Schnapple.
Snap.
Oh,
Frank Miller, how dare you. The Kingpin's agent climbs the wall of the Plaza Hotel with suction cups to the Purple Man's suite.
He's like hanging upside down. Like
Yes, no sign of stealth. He's got his hair just like flapping in the breeze.
Well,
he's got a suit on while he's doing this as well.
I mean, he's gonna be so high up, you probably can't see him from the street. But still,
Come on. What's his old man doing?
This is his only appearance, so you are right.
Yeah.
That that we know of, like I said, that's totally an alias. So any unnamed assassin we see throughout the Marvel Universe, headcanon, it's this guy.
Master disguise.
Yo,
Turtle.
oh my God, Chips and Darcy's gonna have him sharing a cell with Matt Murdock. But he peers through the window and sees two policemen standing on their heads. What a strange country the German Marvels do.
Is this the American custom?
No, yeah.
Why did he pay these men to dress like policemen and stand on their heads? When he sees the purple...
Don't kink shame him.
Oh, Chad cracked it. He knows who Snapple Man is.
Schnickel Schnapp. Who is he, Chad?
Bullseye's.
Oh, yeah.
Headcanon accepted.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put it past Bullseyes.
Yeah. Well, this is before he became cool, though. So,
I mean, that beard looks fake. It could be.
yeah.
When he sees the Purple Man exit through the door, he cautiously follows him through Central Park. Unaware of the assassin, Kilgrave muses that a few hours on their heads should teach those rude policemen some manners. Then he stops a man and a woman for some conversation. Okay, here's He quickly tells the man to jump in the Hudson River, but he tells the woman, who is quite pretty, to accompany him into a carriage. It is already...
I want some company. He just says, I want some company.
Get in! Get in, loser! We're getting hashtag rapey. Like, jeez. The 80s, the things people could get away with, man.
That's what Bendis did in Jessica Jones. I mean, he...
Oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
I mean, this is...
But Bendis is a little creepy.
But Connor, this is Miller all over again, you know? Well, not all over. This is one of his early stories.
I mean, we've talked about it too. I mean, look at Born Again, look at the Batman stuff. He has issues with women. He does.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
You know, half these women are like porn stars or hookers or, you know.
Yeah, but on the same token, Born Again's the first time Karen becomes like a good character. So
Yeah.
you know.
Well, yeah. No,
And then she's like good after that as well.
Lilith
She's
says
awful
never, I say
beforehand.
yes. I agree with you. Yes.
Well, Karen was
Yeah.
very one-dimensional before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if you guys ever, I know Ray did listen to Dave's Daredevil podcast.
Yeah, J. David Weeder. Yeah.
Yeah, he had, actually, I'm not sure what your language code is here, so I'm just going to say he called her something really funny, though. But anyway. And he's, like, usually really nice, so that's why it was so funny.
Well, yeah, like in the original issues, like she learned who he was, then she went off to Hollywood to become an actress. And do you know who she kind of got into a quick relationship with? When she was in Hollywood?
Old JB.
Johnny Blaze, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
She's
that
got
was a weird
terrible
part.
taste in men, obviously.
What redheads with bad decision making? Yeah. So Purple Man takes the woman. It is he tells the people in the carriage to get out. As the carriage rattles through the park, Kilgrave compels the woman to kiss him, but is disappointed and tells her to leave.
Yeah. What is that? I wonder. What was just a bad kisser?
Well, it's not like if you.
He's pouting.
Get out.
Not actually. It's not sexualized at all. Like it looks very uncomfortable and awkward.
Yeah, it looked like she's very
He
much.
literally kicked her out, like on her bum. He kicks her on her bum.
Literally kicks her bum out of the carriage.
I mean, when you use the powers, I mean, is the whole thing very robotic?
Well, he says it's not fun anymore, so he's literally pouting about it in the carriage. That it's not fun.
Yeah, he's got a pouting face right there.
Yeah.
Woe is me.
Yeah, maybe because he doesn't get that return of like the kiss, right? Because she's just doing what he's telling her, so it's not like
Yeah. It's very robotic, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Chad wants to know whatever happened to Karen. Is she still in the glass box on Bullseye's mantle?
Better than chopped up in a refrigerator, but whatever.
Actually, I was talking the other day with a Daredevil fan, and we were just both saying how glad we were that they didn't bring Karen back to synergize with the Netflix show, because that would have really sucked. She should stay where she is.
I mean, I like Karen, but it's like, how do you believably bring her back?
Well, yeah, and she had a good ending, you know. So, like, it was a good comic. Just leave it.
I mean, you kind of give her the Electra, Bullseye.
Look, Matt. and Mary. Okay, that's it. Eminem. Get it? Perfect. Endgame. Don't want to hear anything about Electra. Don't want to hear anything about freaking Karen.
What, Typhoid Mary?
Yeah, that's his endgame. Hashtag fight me.
So I think technically it's Black Widow.
Oh.
Ooh, I might allow it. She's a redhead. I might allow it.
I don't know, man. She got too much. I don't know. They were pairing her with Winter Soldier for a while.
Well, you know.
You can't get between Stucky. What are you talking about?
I'm just going by end of days here. I'm not saying like they have a romantic happy ending. I'm just saying, just spreading his seed, as it were.
Well, it's Matt. That's what he does best.
Treading the line here of censorship. Anyway.
All right. As Kilgrave muses on how boring his powers have become, Heinrich
Von Schnapple.
Yes.
He falls out of a tree.
He suddenly drops down into the carriage, aims a gun at him, and tells him not to move. Kilgrave simply tells Heinrich to shoot himself, but before the assassin can do so, Kilgrave changes his mind and asks him to explain why he is there. Perhaps he says it will prove interesting. Back at the Plaza Hotel, Spider-Man, guided by his spider sense, crashes through the window of Kilgrave's suite and finds the two officers. Daredevil was also present, and he quickly explains who Kilgrave is and whose narcotic shipment Kilgrave detoured. Once the Kingpin finds Kilgrave, says Daredevil, he will surely understand the awesome potential of his power. Then Daredevil douses the two policemen with water, and they snap out of their trance. Remember that plot.
Where did he find that wooden bucket? But yeah, anyway.
I mean, I don't know what the bucket. I'm sure there's.
Was he just waiting on Spider-Man to demonstrate?
Standing at the doorway, just waiting for him to.
Well, he would have known he was coming.
Yeah,
because his radar sense.
So setting himself up, theatrics.
He heard that. He heard them thwips.
He had him flipping his way downtown. Yeah.
Theatricality and deception are powerful tools, Mr. Murdoch.
But yeah, I mean, there was a bathroom in there. I'm sure he could get water, but I don't know where the bucket came from. Oh, this was like.
Was it the ice bucket?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've been in a hotel. Thank you, pandemic.
But yeah, remember the water snapped them out of it. He guessed that a sudden shock might draw them out of Kilgrave's control. Soon Spider-Man and Daredevil are crisscrossing the city, searching for Kilgrave. Suddenly, Spider-Man's spider sense tingles, and he spots the Purple Man in the carriage far below. Swooping down, he grabs Heinrich's gun and collars him and Kilgrave, and then he orders the driver to take them to a police station. But Kilgrave simply tells Spider-Man to take a flying leap, so Spider-Man clambers up a nearby building and jumps off. Unfortunately, Daredevil catches him before he hits the pavement.
Unfortunately.
I know, was I rude? Well, we talking this from a villain's perspective?
I like a lot of the art of Purple Man in this issue. His facial expressions and stuff. I think they're very good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very, very pompous.
Yeah, it's that Herb Trimpe. I like a lot of his art, but I just think the Kingpin looks ridiculous in this issue.
Oh, I love it.
As he should. Come on, think this is like early 80s. We still got that 70s influence, the ascot, that white suit, very Otto-esque.
I mean, it's classic Kingpin.
It is, and he's almost a perfect circle. It's fantastic.
He's as big, tall as he is around. Yeah.
That was like the biggest twist. He thought Kingpin was really fat, and then it's like, no, he's full of muscle and he can beat up Spider-Man.
Yeah. He's got 0% fat. He's just
that double chin, it's all muscle.
He's just shaped like a refrigerator. He's big boned. That's all.
Hey, big unit.
That's it.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Spider-Man tells Daredevil that the man told him to jump, and he did. What is wrong with that? Heinrich soon introduces the Purple Man to the Kingpin. I'm 30. The master criminal was amazed to learn that the accounts of the Purple Man's strange power are true. He asked Kilgrave about the rumors that he died while attempting to escape from Rikers Island prison. And Kilgrave replies that he simply planted them as a cover. It would take far more than a fall into the ocean to damage his chemically altered body.
So that would assume then that he's a little bit more durable. Yeah, which I don't think they've ever used again, right?
What in the Joker is going on here?
Well, again, it's like, especially over here, it's like anytime you get doused with any chemical, you get at least a partial.
Yeah,
healing
you're.
factor.
Yeah, you're.
It's not how this works at all, but okay.
I could, yeah, because Norman Osborn never got a healing factor eventually from that. And,
Yeah.
I just always think of like with Marvel villains, just the amount of like lab accidents that just happen, and I always think of like that Family Guy where Adam West decides to give himself superpowers and starts rolling in radioactive waste, and then he gets like toxic poisoning in the hospital's like, what were you doing?
well, that's what we always say. Unlike the real world, the America of the Marvel universe has no like a
OSHA.
Good agencies, OSHA, none of them, who have safety, just nothing. He had but one thought as he sank into the brine. He says, "Revenge." Interrupts the Kingpin. "No," replies the Purple Man. "It was who needs the grief." After involving himself in battle after battle, he says he just decided to retire to the life of leisure that his power could provide. I mean, seriously.
And this is something Kingpin can't get behind. He's like, all that power just going unused? What are you thinking, man?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you can give yourself whatever you want, I mean, why would you tangle with...
It's the thrill of the fight, man! That's what keeps you alive!
Eye the tiger.
So what was that, Connor?
Oh, I was just saying, like, yeah, it's the smart approach. It's kind of refreshing to see a villain who's like, no, I'm done with the revenge. I'm just going to chill out, not get caught and go to jail and die.
Yeah, seriously, until... Like I said, I know of at least one appearance he makes in the 90s, and then, like, I think he's kind of quiet until Jessica Jones.
We did that whole thing with Heather Glenn's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Which left, I guess, repercussions for that character.
Another young lady on Matt Murdock's tab. Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a happy story though. Although, like as David Weeder pointed out, why would you choose Heather Glenn over Black Widow? Like that just makes no sense to me.
I mean, unless you just want like an easily suggestible woman. I mean, Black Widow's going to call him on his crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she won't die.
Well, maybe that's the secret. Maybe he gets sick of him.
Whoa. Oh, that's sinister.
Well, Matt Murdock's a jerk.
But we love him.
Yes. Then Kilgrave turns to leave, but the Kingpin fires a blast from his obliterator cane. I love it. The obliterator cane, and orders him to halt. Kilgrave responds by telling the Kingpin to blow his brains out. At first, the Kingpin raises his weapon to his forehead, but then, after a minute, he lowers it. He will give the orders now, he declares smugly. So is he on a willpower level of like a Matt Murdock?
Oh, hell yeah, he is!
Oh, yeah, I thought that was real interesting.
Yeah. Well, hang on, he isn't, though, isn't he? Like, he's got those... Doesn't he have the earplugs?
No, he doesn't have them yet.
Oh, he doesn't have them yet? Okay.
Because he starts to do it, and then he shakes it off.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just pretending. Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay, sure.
And
it
makes sense.
Yeah, anyway, I want to Taylor Swift on him.
He only believes in himself, man. This makes sense. He's very conceited and egotistical, yes.
I love the Kingpin.
He's all self-made.
Yeah, I reckon this guy, out of anyone, he would do it. So that's, like, he would be able to resist. So, yeah.
I mean, come on. He walks around the world looking like Humpty Dumpty with the confidence of a Brad Pitt. He's got willpower, okay?
Yeah, he does.
But
yeah,
again, I mean, that's probably why he works so well as a Daredevil villain. Just like we were talking about before, he's kind of like Matt Murdock. He's kind of like a self-made man.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, they do that dynamic a lot of, like, neither of them sort of giving up. Like, Daredevil Noir is a good summary of their sort of dynamic, I guess. Despite being, not Earth 616.
But I mean, they both grew up poor, and they built themselves up.
Yeah.
Then Kilgrave. There's the obliterator cannon.
Let's just get to Power Man and Iron Fist. Watch an image of El Jefe.
We're nearly there.
Let's get the Power Man, Iron Fist, and that other guy.
I know. I had to wait so long. my God.
Kilgrave is astonished. I remember reading this. I'm like, where the hell are these other three at? Kilgrave is astonished that the Kingpin could resist him. Only Daredevil has been able to do that, he says. The Kingpin replies that Daredevil and all the others who have stood in his way will die. Okay, here we go. Elsewhere, Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Logo. Cue in funky music.
Leave the Victoria Theater after a showing of the martial arts movie, Image of LG.
El Jefe, come on, it's Spanish. Even though it's a kung fu movie, it's Spanish for some reason. I don't know.
I think it's a joke because I'm pretty sure that movie doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, yeah.
Because they're always playing. They always see westerns, so it must be some sort of joke. I'm not sure what it is though.
The Frank Miller joke, babe. Disappointed, Iron Fist says that Kung Fu is a religion, not a pack of cheap fighting tricks as portrayed in the movie.
Yeah, you tell him.
Go,
Danny.
Suddenly, a young woman chased by a gunman runs into the street nearby. Cage uses his bulletproof body to shield her as Iron Fist runs after the criminal's limousine and kicks in its window. So,
he flips the car as well.
Sort of, I guess it's kind of 2 pages, but like sets up what those characters are about at the time. You know, Luke Cage is like the brawn, Iron Fist is, you know, the karate guy.
Basically, yeah.
But again, I mean, you've been covering a lot of Power Man and Iron Fist, Connor. It's like Luke Cage loses his shirt at least once in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm okay with that. You shut your mouth.
It's just like, well, we're just, you know, we always go on because Luke Cage isn't wealthy, and he's just going through silk shirts like crazy. I'm pretty sure that there has to have been a shot somewhere of his closet full of like yellow silk shirts. I think there was. I can't remember, but yeah.
Plot twist: it was really just polyester.
Well, the thing with Iron Fist costume, I don't know if you guys knew, but that was originally supposed to be a symbiote because it kept getting torn a lot, and John Byrne was going to make it a symbiote because Kunlun was like technological, but they used that later on for Spider-Man instead. So, but it would have explained a lot with his costume, how the collar keeps changing in every panel. Disappears sometimes. It has to be a living entity. So,
I mean, that would be something if they made it like mystical or something, you know, or just like, hey, Iron Fist, like realign molecules or something.
Oh, I mean, they could still do it, really. I mean, especially since they're doing constant symbiote events as well. Like every time I can read them, but every time I look, there's just some sort of like planet symbiote or something going on.
King in Black is actually really good right now. It kind of got me.
That's the current one, right?
Yeah,
that one's good. I mean, we've complained about
it. Well, it gave me Namor, so you know, I'm not gonna complain about anything that gives me Namor. So.
Absolute Carnage was good as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think King of Black is even better. Yeah.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
But that's what we always get. We were complaining about. It's like before King of Black, it's like seems like everyone's got a symbiote. Now over Avengers, everyone's getting the Phoenix Force. I mean, Phoenix Force used to be special. Now it's Charlie Sheen. It's been in everybody.
Yeah.
Hey.
Although it's going to give us Heroes Reborn.
Oh yeah.
If we ignore it, maybe it'll go away.
Yeah, as you say, Phil, the event that no one asked for. So.
Oh, Charlie Esser's all pumped for it.
Is it?
No, well, like someone was saying, did you see Spider-Gwen's going to be Night
Gwen?
Night Gwen, yeah, because since there's no Spider-Man, she's going to be Nighthawk's like Batgirl. And someone was like, oh, yeah, why are they going all DC with this thing? It's like, well, the Squadron Supreme is DC knockoffs, of course.
Yeah.
After the car crashes into a traffic island, he pulls out the men inside and turns them over to the police. Later at the offices of Heroes for Hire, Cage, Iron Fist, Colleen Wing, and Misty Knight question the woman. She says that she overheard 2 men planning a killing, and when they saw her, they sent the gunman after her. She does not know who the target is, but the murder will occur tonight at the charity show in the convention center. Colleen senses a trap, but Cage does not care. Oh yeah, the bulletproof guy don't care if it's a trap.
Yes.
The woman will remain with her and Misty, and he and Iron Fist will visit the center themselves. At nightfall, as an informant nicknamed Pigeon feeds his pet pigeons on a rooftop. Oh lord! As he
Who is he, Mike Tyson?
I thought it was ridiculous. But yes, as he feeds his pigeons on the rooftop, some guy glides silently down and asks him whether he has any information.
Yes.
Pigeon replies that he has nothing. Suddenly, Moon Knight, that's right, the Moon Knight, says that they are being watched, and he hurls a crescent-shaped scarab dart down the barrel of the hidden sniper's weapon.
I thought he was just saying peace, but you know, he does. Yeah, he does shoot it there. What we see here, though, this is a problem when you change your informants. You know, as Jake Lockley, he'd go to Crawley to look at word on the street. He, for some reason, goes to Pigeon, who ends up being, it's totally a ruse. I mean, I forgot to mention as well that the prior scene with Power Man and Iron Fist, is this is all a ruse to get them all to the charity, all on the back of Kingpin. So, you don't have to worry about that woman who was being shot at, because basically it's all a setup. And similar here as well, it's a setup with this Pigeon guy being picked off by this sniper, but they're all in cahoots. And I thought it was a good introduction to Moon Knight. I mean, it mentions in the caption his identities, so you kind of get that, and you kind of get a sense of what he does. Throw crescent darts.
I mean, there's so many characters in here. Yeah, you really can't do like a full thing. But I was just waiting for like Purple Man to try to take him over and be like, "Well, yeah, you got one of us. You got Stephen Grant." But yeah,
that would be really cool. Actually, he didn't. Yeah, he'd make use of that. That would have been a good thing to do.
Time to write an angry letter. All the Moon Knight fans in an uproar.
40 years later.
But Ray, at this point, they weren't like actual multiple personalities where he was just like, oh yeah, now I'm going to be Stephen Grant.
They haven't really formulated. Yeah, this is 81, so the Solar Series is only a year old. Doug Mensch is really trying to figure out what he wants to do with him. So at this stage, it's Mark Spector playing the roles of Jake Lockley, Stephen Grant, Moon Knight. It's not like a dissociative identity disorder at all yet. So yeah,
it just becomes that.
You can tell them they can do a limited series on this. Like, here's an idea.
It's kind of like
just mention my podcast.
It reminds me of Mike Murdoch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He just creates too many identities. He starts getting confused.
Yeah. Then he gets himself into trouble. Oh gosh, I've got to Mike's now
I've got
Daredevil.
3 days.
These shenanigans.
I mean, that's something Daredevil and Moon Knight have in common. They have nervous breakdowns every couple of years.
True. I can relate. Yeah. I vacate you, so yeah, I don't know. A pretty solid, similar to Iron Fist and Power Man. I was about to say Iron Man again. Nice little short intro to the character. I mean, albeit 20 pages into the annual when they come on. Right?
I guess I didn't mind because I like Daredevil and Spider-Man so much.
I didn't.
But if I was like solely a Moon Knight or a Power Man and Iron Fist fan, I'd be like, oh, sorry,
bait and switch.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, I think that was the whole point of Marvel Team Up. It was like, everyone knows Spider-Man, but it's like you don't know certain characters. So it was probably trying to boost everyone else's books. So.
I mean, Spider-Man's definitely met Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Power Man before this point. Has he met Moon Knight before this?
Yes, he has. I think he has.
Didn't we cover that?
Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, there's some early.
Oh,
issues.
right.
Yeah.
And I guess so. At this point in time at Marvel, I guess these guys are the kind of street level characters, right?
Yeah.
The. Well, I mean, I'm saying that because they're all in this one issue, and the Kingpin, their scheme is to get all the, I guess, street level heroes into one place. So I can't think of any other ones that were
all the big ones. I mean,
yeah.
When did the Punisher? He was a bit later, was he? No.
Oh, I mean, hero is an interesting term for him.
I mean, the Punisher's around, but
Punisher
would have made this.
He's so bad at his job, it doesn't even matter. So
I'm trying to remember. Did he even run into the Kingpin at this point yet?
Oh.
81? I don't think so.
I mean,
The Punisher.
maybe his first appearance. What was it, like 74 or something? I mean,
75 guys, and yeah, way in the
475. Yes, I mean, he's only Punisher on the ground like 6.
But if you put the Punisher into a quote unquote team up, it's always a barrel of fun. Like, 'cause everyone's always like, at each other's throats. So.
Oh yeah, well that's what we said. Like Daredevil's always like trying to knock him out or something.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's like, no killing!
Yeah, I mean,
like, no killing, please.
I got that Punisher Essential Volume 1, and like most of it is Spider-Man issues.
Okay. Right.
And they have an underrated dynamic, I think, because Spider-Man is like, he's much more, I guess, naive than Daredevil.
Yeah.
So his dynamic with Punisher is kind of funnier. It's like, hey, can you stop doing that? Like, you can't just kill people. And he can just make Punisher not do it, because Punisher doesn't have powers. He knows that he can't do anything against Spider-Man, so he has to play it by his rules. Unlike Daredevil.
Well, some of those first appearances in Spider-Man, Daredevil had, or Punisher had, like, he could switch from like regular bullets to like what do you call them, mercy bullets, where they
oh god, don't bring up the mercy bullets.
Yeah, they're equalizers or something. Like, oh god. But yes, a sharp punch from Moon Knight knocks the man out. Pigeon explains that he was afraid to say anything because he knew the man was there, but now that he is safe, he can say that someone will be killed at the charity show tonight. After Moon Knight glides away, Pigeon removes the sniper from the pole that Moon Knight hung him from, and they congratulate each other on leading the crime fighter into the Kingpin's trap.
It's a trap!
That naive Moon Knight.
So,
no.
Is Pigeon, is he like a regular Moon Knight character? Okay.
Nah, I think the first like Von Schnickelschnappel. I think
he's better than him.
He was leading Moon Knight in the trap, so he's probably like one of the Kingpin's men or something.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Now we're getting to the good stuff. 2 hours later, at the Daily Bugle building, J. Jonah Jameson dresses for his part as Master of Ceremonies at the charity show. As he bids Gloria Grant goodnight, he passes an office where Joe Robertson and other Bugle staff members are conferring with Spider-Man and Daredevil. Jameson
Out! All of you filthy vigilantes, get out of my office!
This is pretty funny. It would have been funnier if they had Moon Knight, Power Man, and Iron Fist there as well.
Yeah, everyone.
Give him a stroke or something. I like the Clark Kent cameo as well.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Jameson is furious at seeing the two crime fighters, particularly Spider-Man, in his building and orders them out at once. At the same time, in the Kingpin's office, the Kingpin gloats that fate has at last delivered Spider-Man, Daredevil, Moon Knight, Power Man, and Iron Fist into his hands to be destroyed by the power of the Purple Man.
The best thing is he's got that power pose, but he's by himself in the office.
He's freaking, what a pose! Look at that! Look at the crowd.
Look at his face! Like he's about to have a stroke. He's just.
Can I just say, when you search for Kingpin, I think like the number one question is like, why is Kingpin so thick with 2 C's? I just wanted to shout that out. That made me chuckle.
He's thick and he owns it.
If that's not Humpty Dumpty, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. The shape is very weird in this issue. But
it does look like an egg.
If that hurts.
But this is where I thought, like, again, look, so he gives the earplugs to Von Schnickelschnapp.
Earplugs.
Yeah. So I assumed that he had worn them. I mean, it's not like these came out of the blue. I think that was I thought it was a setup. That's how we kind of counted Purple Man before. He's got the technology. So
I don't think so. I think it's more a matter of just like, hey, let's give the henchmen some earplugs. I don't think it was set up or anything.
Yeah, no.
Because
how would he know? But how would he know to wear the earplugs? Like he would have tested it before.
If it was set up before, it would have told you, because this comic isn't subtle. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't. Yeah. So I just think it's like.
And again, there's so much going on. You can't explain it easier. Again, modern comics. If this was the origin
of those earplugs would be a whole issue.
I mean,
it would be less good and entertaining as well.
Yeah, it would be 6 to 12 issues. Issue 1 would be Spider-Man. Issue 2 would be Daredevil. 3 would be Iron Fist.
You know, I kind of want that now. Like the ultimate Spider-Man arc, but good. You know,
Ooh,
or like,
that'd be fun. That'd be good.
Ouch!
well, okay, that arc was good, I should say, but Iron Fist got, kind of shafted at that. So
Because it's Iron Fist.
version of that.
You're talking about this arc? Yeah.
Because he turns out to be like a mole or something. I don't know.
Bendis.
Oh yeah, Bendis hates Iron Fist. That's right. Forgot about that.
I mean, he seems like he had a lot of content. But
So we're at the charity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But no, yeah, he.
And I should point out, Peter knows who Daredevil is at this point.
No, he doesn't.
He does it because he leaves that note for Matt like very early on. I think the writers just forgot about it. But Spider-Man figures out who Daredevil is like all the way back in Daredevil 24.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say because Peter David did it in Spectacular Spider-Man, like
Oh,
was
did-
like mid '80s. Yeah.
Right. So they just
Mate, it
forgot
comes and
about it
goes.
then.
Yeah.
I know
That
Daredevil-
amnesia, that Marvel amnesia.
Hey man, they all get hit in the head a lot. Yeah.
Once too many hits in the head, I think.
Yeah.
I love this shot of all of them in plain clothes in the audience. It was just fun.
Yeah.
It was just fun to see them all kind of together.
All
And
in
you
the
can
same section. Yeah.
yeah. Even without their word balloons, you can tell who they are. Like
Yeah. Although, yeah, no. Moving on.
But yeah, no. The Kingpin tells Heinrich to kill Kilgrave. So his power can't be used against him. Yeah. But yeah, at the whatever. Yeah. Soon Jameson begins his long-winded, self-aggrandizing opening speech at the charity show. In the audience, oh Lord, Peter Parker's there with Deborah Whitman, Matt Murdock, Luke Cage and Danny Rand, and Moon Knight as Stephen Grant. And
He gets the best line though. He's like, we might not even get a chance to get into our superhero suits. Jameson, my boy, the bad guys did that.
So, what we should point out is Matt doesn't have a date, and Luke's date is Danny. So,
Yeah.
Of course.
yeah, exactly.
So
Oh,
Matt's
yeah,
there
Moon
with
Knight-
date and no friend. Yes.
Yeah, Moon Knight's brought he's brought Marlene across. which is
that's
good.
his date, right?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was going to say,
Marlene.
there's no way, like, female characters, no way they're not, have something going on.
I was gonna say, wasn't wait? So he gave Marlene the night off from waiting
in the bedroom.
Andre?
Tonight you're coming out with me. He's like,
You get to put clothes on.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's a running gag, kind of like she's always in the bedroom in lingerie,
Wow.
after or before he comes back from an adventure. So, yeah.
Yeah, because didn't he have that entrance that like came up like right in the bedroom, and she's like right there.
Yeah. He's got an underwater tunnel that goes in, and it comes out as a jacuzzi in the bedroom. And more often than not, Marlene's there, like spread on the bed. Yeah.
Wait, are you serious? Or-
Yes!
Yeah, in the 80s. Yeah.
Like
That's his underwater entrance.
Yeah.
That's like
yeah.
some Batman 66 stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
It's crazy.
That's probably what
yeah,
Adam
like
West really had.
not the PG version, I guess, but
After boring the audience to death, the publisher introduces the show's first guest, Kilgrave. The people expecting Steve Martin begin to boo, but the Purple Man orders them to buy it.
and the Purple Man looks like Satan because his hair is like
It
horn.
does.
Um,
Changed. Oh, he wore a hat. You're right. Yeah, he wore a hat before. So
Oh yeah, this art. Some of the expressions on the Purple Man's face. They immediately settle down. Then he singles out Matt Murdock as someone who is concealing something. Realizing that his secret identity is about to be exposed, Matt grabs his neighbor's cigar and throws it onto the empty seat in front of him. The final cover starts to smolder, and Matt yells "fire" in a crowded theater.
Arsonist! Arsonist!
and that's actually probably a realistic representation because no one would leave in an orderly fashion. Everyone would just panic and
Yeah.
run.
Especially someone screams "fire." Hey, come on, Will. He dresses like the devil. What do you expect? The crowd panics, and the crime fighters use the confusion to change into the respect. There's a whole hell of a lot of people changing into superhero costumes right now.
Yeah.
Moon Knight sees Spider-Man climbing down a wall, thinking he might be the killer, and Jameson is his intended victim. He glides swiftly towards him. But Daredevil grabs Moon Knight in midair, and they fall onto the stage.
I'm just gonna say, like, classic Marvel team up writing. Like, perhaps I'll ask him after I bring him down. Like, literally, shoot first, ask questions later. Like, I'm not blaming Moon Knight. I'm blaming the classic Marvel team up. Got to fight. Rare cases they don't fight though, but it's rare.
Yeah, especially in this era, you're not allowed to team up unless you throw like 1 or 2 punches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so and just want to bring back that point. So 1978, 3 years prior, in Spectacular Spider-Man 22 and 23, that's where Moon Knight and Spider-Man met. So he must have just forgotten as well. He's forgotten about Spider-Man. So that's why he's attacking Spider-Man.
Hey, Moon Knight has a lot of people on his mind, okay?
That's true.
All right.
Look at the way Daredevil lands. That looks like it really hurts.
Yeah.
It's not a graceful landing.
He's not graceful. He knows how to take a hit. Yeah. All right, here.
Hey-o.
Then Luke Cage and Iron Fist enter, believing Moon Knight to be the criminal. But Spider-Man drops down among them and calls a truce.
Well, they don't know who Moon Knight is. So.
Yeah, I don't think they ever met, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's like, because they see him go to attack Spider-Man.
He's literally in white! He's the White Knight! What are you guys doing?
But that's so funny, though.
Pinkman wears white too, Will.
Yeah, but he has an ascot with a diamond in it. You know he's evil that way.
I'm assuming you guys have read the White Man two-parter in Deadpool with Power Man and Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good, because it's amazing.
Yes, I did a review, yes.
Interesting point, though, yeah, but Spider-Man does recognize Moon Knight. He's the one that says, hey, guys. Yeah, that's strange, anyway.
Spider-Man should remember, he meets everybody.
Yeah, true.
Well, he meets too many people.
Oh, that's true. He could be the one, because he meets everyone.
Yeah.
He's a doorknob. Everybody gets a turn.
Oh, no, it's just really popular. Jameson imagines they have come to ruin his moment of glory and calls for someone in the audience to catch them. Then Kilgrave.
Not catch them, kill them.
Kilgrave shouts,
kill the heroes.
Into the microphone, and the audience rushes on stage to murder the 5 crime fighters. Daredevil calls for a strategy to deal with the crowd. The cage simply shatters the wall in a nice splash page, and the 5 men ran out into the street. Daredevil and Moon Knight.
Oh yeah! Come on, Phil. What are you doing?
Whoa,
actually a good page.
Oh yeah, it is a good
page. So yes, hiding. The 2 who stay behind the hide like cowards. Daredevil and Moon Knight hide behind the building, letting the crowd pursue Spider-Man, Power Man, and Iron Fist. As they return to the convention center, Daredevil explains Kilgrave's powers to Moon Knight. Back on the stage, as Kilgrave challenges Daredevil to come out of his hiding place, Heinrich von Schnickelschnape aims his weapon at the back of the Purple Man's head. But before he can fire, Moon Knight knocks him out with a throwing iron. Then he carefully examines Heinrich's body, trying to find out how the assassin resisted Kilgrave's will, and he soon finds the earplugs and inserts them into his own ears. That's not
yuck.
Yeah, I know. No, better just being under Purple Man's control.
Yeah, that's true.
Meanwhile, Kilgrave asks for the house lights to be turned off and then orders a spotlight turned on. He's like, illuminated by the light as he stands on the lectern, he tells Daredevil to reveal himself. Ordinarily, Daredevil can resist Kilgrave's voice, but now it is amplified by the microphones, and he is forced to step out of concealment. Then Kilgrave orders Murdoch to strangle himself, and as Daredevil's fingers wrap around his throat, he gasps for breath and sinks to the floor. Kilgrave barely starts gloating when Moon Knight walks out of the shadows and orders him to release Daredevil. The Purple Man tells him to eat his cape, but Moon Knight, much to Kilgrave's surprise, knocks him out with a punch to the jaw. As Moon Knight
break that jaw, yeah.
That is dead. As Moon Knight helps Daredevil to his feet, Daredevil asks that he keep his Matt Murdock identity, which Kilgrave just revealed a secret. But much to Daredevil's relief, Moon Knight can hear nothing with his ears plugged. So Daredevil simply thanks him for saving his life. Again, he never said Matt Murdock. He said Murdoch. So again, if you heard, it's like his last name's Murdoch, but I don't know which one.
Sure, I guess. Sure. I don't know, but that's a really cool shadow of Daredevil in the shadows.
Oh yeah,
looking like a devil. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was as you said, Purple Man's powers are like inconsistent, and I'm not sure the logic is quite there. But it's a neat twist, amplifying it, and Daredevil can't resist it. Sort of get around that.
Well, if anything, he's addressed the fact that Daredevil beat him last time, so at least he's trying. Yeah,
that's true.
We'll try it one more time, but we'll make it louder. We'll make it bigger.
Turn it up to 11. Just turn it up.
Yeah, no sense. The audience, meanwhile, continues to chase Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist down the city street. Suddenly, Spider-Man web swings up a wall. Cage thinks he is deserting them, but instead, Spider-Man spins a web net and drops it onto the crowd to slow them down. As the people struggle, he swings down, picks up Cage and Iron Fist, and swings up to a rooftop. Then he runs to a nearby water tank, explaining how Daredevil brought the 2 policemen out of Kilgrave's trance before. Cage tears the tank off its mount, and Iron Fist shatters it with his Iron Fist blow. Hundreds of gallons of water spill onto the crowd. What, did somebody get hurt or something? Like hundreds of gallons of water.
Yeah, one dude says he's drowning. Like,
And then he's like, it worked! Now let's get out of here, Zoinks!
I mean, I gotta say, that's sort of very, like, the splash page of Spider-Man's head and Power Man Iron Fist. That's not a great...
It takes
not the best look.
It takes about half the page. The
Spider-Man's head is like a balloon.
And
what?
Oh wait, so water tower, splash page. I got you on it.
Yay.
But again,
Well, speaking of that, maybe that
throw people to the street. I mean, people could be smacking their heads off the street. It's like,
oh yeah, crushed.
Yeah, like they already web.
Remember what happened to Gwen Stacy? Pete's not the best.
Wow. But the thing is, like, with the water tower, it's like, maybe give that a splash page since Luke got one earlier instead of Spider-Man's balloon head.
Yeah. That would have warranted a big splash page. I mean, no pun intended, but yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended. Just got it like a paddle, though. It was the right paddle.
and again, we got so much of Spider-Man and Daredevil. I think they wanted to give, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, and Power Man, stuff that, major stuff to do in the issues.
Yeah.
Moon Knight saves Daredevil. Power Man and Iron Fist bring this water tank down and soak everybody. But yeah, soon they're all back to normal though. Soaking wet, Jameson starts to splutter insults at Spider-Man, but Spider-Man tells him to be quiet. He just saved this town, he continues, and he will go on saving it. And Jameson will continue to print lies about him in his newspaper, fake news. But whenever
See you in the funny papers.
But whenever he gets angry with the publisher, he says as he departs, he will remember this moment. It will make it all worthwhile. Soon, a gagged Kilgrave is led away into a police van under the watchful eyes of Moon Knight, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil. Hildy brings the Kingpin the bad news that his plan backfired. Both Kilgrave and Heinrich have been jailed, she says.
You blew it!
Yeah, jeez. It's pretty ballsy of her to say that. But she later says, I hope you aren't angry with me. Because you know what Kingpin can do, right? So, yeah.
He's killed people for less.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he has killed people for less.
Oh,
than
yeah,
that,
there's like a Daredevil where he's talking to like a bunch of lawyers, and one of them says like
yeah, I remember that one.
Like a Latin phrase, and then they're like, all the rest of them are like, oh my god, he's bringing up Kingpin's uneducated roots, man, and just like
crushes his head, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're all like sitting at a board table. He just comes up behind the guy, crushes his head.
Yeah. Not good.
So Hildy's all way in the right to say, yeah, you're not mad at me, are you?
Yeah.
But the Kingpin is furious, he says through clenched teeth, that although he may be beaten time after time, he only has to win but once.
It's true. That's
It's
true.
like a Spider-Man.
The end! For now. And we never saw this team up again.
I mean, probably parts of it, but it's like, I don't think we've ever gotten all 5 of them ever again.
Oh, there's Shadowland.
Yeah.
True.
But outside of that...
Yeah, I don't think they reminisce about this adventure. Going, I remember that time we fought Von Schnickel-Schnapp. Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
That's like when Iron Fist and Spider-Man teamed up to fight that guy who, like, turned into goo or dust or something, and they never brought that up again. So.
Too many adventures.
Yeah, there's so many.
But, like, that Kingpin's face on that second panel at the bottom, he's... And then, again, despite the fact that Kingpin's a Daredevil villain in his own comic right now, it reinformed reinforces like the Spider-Man
Yeah, true.
villain at the end there. So
Because Spider-Man's the only one that matters. He's the cash cow. Sorry, buddy.
Oh yeah.
well, it's just because Miller's writing it, especially.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It goes.
You'd
It kind of
expect him
goes.
to.
Exactly. It goes.
Yeah.
Daredevil, but he's kind of like kowtowing and saying, yeah, this is a Marvel team up. This is Spider-Man.
I wouldn't say it's kowtowing. I would say he's writing
Editorial
appropriately.
choices.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, he
true.
knows which comic he's writing. He doesn't have to put his own stuff and everything. Like,
Yeah.
Like modern comics.
Oh, yeah.
Modern comics could never. Everybody wants their shekel, so.
yeah, and
Yeah,
continuity's
exactly.
a mess because they all want to do their own takes, and it always messes up other stuff. But they don't care.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So
But
he's done well, Mr. Miller here, to keep things consistent.
I mean, yeah. If nothing else, I mean, it for one issue fitting all these characters in here, and I mean, yeah, it's not a bad job. But yeah, modern comics they would never do this in one issue,
Oh no.
for good or bad. No.
I really do love. I mean, when I read annuals like this and issues I really do want the old 2-in-1s or team ups to come back. That we had it briefly with the 2-in-1, right? With the Thing, and I didn't read it. Was it a Zdarsky one? It was not that long ago.
It was the thing in the Human Torch. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, need more of this stuff. I mean, if anything,
Yeah, we've said that before on LSK, even with the
Yeah.
DC Comics Presents and Brave and the Bold
Yeah.
on their end as well. Just more team up books with like, because we have stuff like Batman, Superman stuff, but something with like a rotating sort of cast.
I don't know if it's like part of the problem with any of the team up books, especially with like guys like Spider-Man or Superman and Batman who like have their own books. It's like you really can't alter
Multiple books.
and you can't alter anything about them in the team up book. So it's like you can only do so much.
But there were still really good stories though. Like they are really good runs. Like, and there would also be vehicles for lesser known characters to have their stories wrapped up, like Iron Fist did, or have like continuations. But I prefer that than some of the stuff we're getting.
But obviously, I mustn't be making the units that they want because they haven't decided to. Marvel Comics Presents has been dead in the water for how long as well? So
They big units.
Yeah, big units, plenty of units.
Well, I mean,
Plus, they're doing that venture with IDW too, so it's like they're kind of spread thin on stuff like that.
What is that IDW stuff? I never understood that.
I never pick it up, but I'm just like, why is this a thing? I secretly think they're gonna buy IDW, honestly, and that's just getting everybody ready.
Well, I know at least the Spider-Man stuff. So I got some of it for Luca. It's like it's like an all ages, like the Spider-Man one at least. It's Peter Parker.
Captain Marvel is all ages too, the one they have over there.
Yeah, but like the Spider-Man one is basically into the Spider-Verse. It's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
it's just like for the it's an all ages book, but. Well, no, me and Lilith have been streaming. We last couple of weeks we won a monthly Spider-Man Daredevil team up book.
that would be good. Yeah,
That would be cool.
Yeah. It would be a second title for Daredevil, which would be cool because
never happens.
yeah.
I mean, he's always had a run, but it's only been one comic.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. It's like,
oh yeah,
but it's,
I don't think he's ever been. I don't think he's ever gotten to a point where he's not being published, right? Like he's always.
Yeah, I think so.
Since his conception, he's constantly.
Bill, do you remember any?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, there was what was that? In the 2010.
Was it then? Yeah, I was gonna say in the tens.
Well, after Shadowland, like they kind of did a thing. Matt Murdock went on a road trip. That was like a 6-issue miniseries. But they kind of turned his book into he has Black Panther. Yeah, he has Black Panther to watch Hell's Kitchen. That was a pretty good.
Yeah, that was a very good run actually.
Yeah,
and they did Wade's run.
Yeah, right in the way. Yeah, but that Black Panther one was good because like people didn't even know it was T'Challa. Like he took a secret identity as like a diner owner.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys think? What'd you give it?
Yeah, letter grades.
Yeah, Connor, do you want to go first?
You go first.
All right. I give this. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a thing of its time as well, but there are pros and cons to it. So I'd give it I know, a solid B. I think it was pretty enjoyable. Like also helped by the fact that I do love all the characters. Not like I have one vested interest in just one of them. So it was
Sure, Jan.
I do. So it was enjoyable just from the get go because Spidey, Daredevil, and you got some really good villains like the Kingpin and Purple Man. I really do like him as a villain because he just seems to be so powerful.
And he's not overused either, so
no,
that
he's
helps.
not overused. Absolutely. So yeah, a B, a nice solid run.
It's just like telepathy. It's like an insidious power. It's like one of the most evil powers.
How could it not be? It's a violation of one's mind.
Exactly. So yeah, B. How about yourself, Connor?
I think it could have been. I think it was a better idea than what it ended up being. I mean, as like Ray, I'm a huge pre One More Day, I'm like a huge Spider-Man fan, and I'm a huge Daredevil fan as well. So I wasn't just here for Iron Fist, and so I like Power Man and Moon Knight. So I wasn't concerned that my characters weren't getting enough screen time or anything. But that being said, even though I might have said contrary earlier, I feel like they all could have met up pretty early on. And there was just, I don't know, it was just a couple of weird things. Like, it was good of its time, and nothing, it wasn't groundbreaking. So I'll give it like a C+. I enjoyed it, and a C+ is like, that's still good.
B-, isn't it?
Well, no, that's the next one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Lilith. All right, you want an honest opinion? All right, Lilith, go ahead.
Oh, I think it's a solid B as in boy. Especially for how many characters they had. I think they did as good a job as they could, and they could have scrimped us. I mean, it was at least it wasn't 26 pages. Imagine if it was only 26 pages.
Well, yeah, that helped it. The annual helped it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to attempt this if it wasn't.
They could never in a regular book. So I think as far as annuals and team ups go, it's pretty dang good. And the fact that they tried to escalate the scope, and they never tried it again, but solid B for me. The artwork really brought it down. Otherwise, if you look at it from the product of its time, it could have been an A, but that artwork was wonky in a lot of places.
It was a bit wonky, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, like Kingpin and stuff. I gotta go. It might shock you. B- because the art really brought it down. I mean, it's a product of its time, and it did what it did. I like all these characters. I don't know if it was just Miller playing favorites with Daredevil, but I feel like they could have maybe did more with Moon Knight and Power Man and Iron Fist. And again, can you imagine if we would have did this exact same story with put John Byrne on this or something? For the art.
Oh.
Yeah, or with the art would have been awesome.
Like at least an artist that caliber, like John Byrne or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have got lots of Iron Fist love if it was John Byrne at least.
Yeah.
But B-.
Okay. So for my maths, that's an A. Average of an A.
Okay.
How much have you been drinking, Ray?
You've been in the Phantom Zone too long, I think.
All
At
right.
least move that boy to Argo City, for goodness sakes. Come on.
Bring Zod there. All right. Speaking of that, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's do some plugs. All right, Connor, tell everyone where they can catch you at, because you do a Iron Fist podcast. You do a Superman podcast with that fellow up there. So.
Thanks very much. I do Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. Huge mouthful, but whatever. It fits. And so obviously that's about Iron Fist. We started off, we did all of his solo stuff before Power Man and Iron Fist. Then we started doing, I think we've done the first 20 something issues of Power Man and Iron Fist, but then we're like, this is killing us. So we're going to switch it up. And we also cover every new Iron Fist series that comes out since 2016, 2017. So go over there if you want to check it out. And I also do with Ray here, Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast, which I'm sure you guys have talked about a lot and plugged us a lot. So thank you very much. Ray's a newbie. I'm not. Although Ray's much less of a newbie as the show goes on. New and old Superman fans, just come have a look, see if anything that interests you, check it out, and
Again, I mean, the Iron Fist podcast is great. I listen to it. It's great, especially when you, Rebecca, and you're all there.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl, you're all there. I mean, Lilith,
every
like,
blood moon.
Carl was like their Charlie Esser. I mean, it's
Yeah, pretty much.
it's a great time. All right, so Ray, I heard you do a few podcasts. What are those?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As mentioned, for sure. Co-hosting with Connor on Last Sons of Krypton, really fun with Superman. Especially also as well the drop of the new TV show, so that's given us a lot of stuff to talk about, as well as the current titles
Future
like
State.
Future State.
I heard it got a review coming up of that. Superman and Lois.
Coming up.
The commentary,
Commentary.
which can double as a review, I guess.
It can be seen as a review. And also, to know her is to fear her. The Spider Woman podcast, the only one out there.
You're welcome.
Do that with Saren, so that's really good. Also, as well, Phil, the Scarlet Spider, Capes and Lynn.
Scarlet Spider Pimps.
Scarlet Pimps, Ray that named us. Yeah, it's last Tuesday of every
Scarlet
month.
Pimps.
Right here.
That's it. And of course, Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. So,
wait, Into the Night, what?
The Moon Knight podcast.
There you go.
So just Twitter at RayRayPod, REYREY Pod. That kind of covers it all, and I'm keen to just chat comics and whatever about the show or about any other characters. It's a lot of fun.
And my co-host, Will Hellfire. Where can people find you online?
You can find me at Lil Hellfire on Twitter, live tweet hating any DC related property, let's just be honest. Also on Instagram at Lil Hellfire 86, and if you're looking for some spicy memes, at Lil Hellfire 69 on TikTok and the gram.
Not in the face.
All right, everyone. So whatever podcast you're listening on, thanks for listening. You can catch us on me and Lilith on the Capes and Lunatics and the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. We do Ultimate Spider Cast and the Devil, the Daredevil podcast. And a bunch of DC shows.
As long as nobody tells Brian Cronin.
That's right. Don't be ripping us off, CBR.
Nobody tell Brian.
And,
Who was that?
We've got a Twitter beef going.
we have issues with somebody with CBR, I guess. We seem to miraculously come up with articles after we do stuff.
Nobody tell Brian.
Credit. But so we also do Ray's favorite show, We Are the Night.
The Batman podcast.
In our new Green Sector 2814 Green Lantern podcast. Me, Matt, and Will. All right.
Yeah.
What was that? Well, I heard a smart comment. Come on.
No, I was about to say, that will be a very interesting one to get onto, because you guys, for those that don't know, you did the Quantum Zone, the Quasar podcast. That ended very sad. A great run you guys did. But just moving on now to Green Lantern, which I know Will is a big fan.
He's a Hal
Jordan, at least. Yeah, Hal Jordan.
Yeah. So listen in, Ray. You're learning with the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I should. I'm interested in Green Lantern, so
because we did a few. The first three issues, or the first three episodes, were kind of like set up, and now we're starting at issue. We started issue 1 in 1990. We're going forward from there.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I'm in.
Teach us some Green Lantern, some 90s Guy Gardner.
Oh god.
Finally, someone agrees with me.
Hey, we're gonna get to the good stuff too. Green Lantern.
Just wish Superman would throw him into the sun.
Hey man, there's a lot of him just getting beat up,
He does get beat up a lot, yeah.
Or one punch, yeah. All right, so you can find us all over social media. The easiest way to find everything. We have a YouTube channel, our merchandise, our Patreon, everything's at Linktree, linktr.ee/capes and lunatics. All right, I think we're good, Bo. All right, so yeah, whatever podcast you're listening to this on, go check out all the other podcasts you heard about tonight. And until then, Ray says, catch you.